yabba dabba doo. Episode 178. What the heck is going on? Let's do it. Monday. Howdy. Party on a Monday. I'll take it. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm going to talk about that pipe in a second. What's up, people? Come on in. I'm in a good mood. I feel it's actually really hot in this room right now. Our weather's up and down. Oh, thank you. I forget when I'm wearing this thing now. I wear it when I'm around my neighborhood. I actually wear it out in public quite a bit these days. I bought 2 of them. What's up? This is the evening hour. We got a big group in here, like, quickly. Is it that hot in New York? No, well, no, it's freezing cold out, but in New York, you have radiator heating. So the houses get hot. The apartments in the houses get so hot, it's crazy. Come on in. Wow, we got a big group. It's live. So if you're watching the rerun, look at the chat. It's pretty cool. If you're here for the first time, say hello. Reach out. If I know you, great. If I don't know you, great. Reach out. Say hi. This is a very friendly group. I got family, friends from all over the world in this chat right now. And tonight's going to be a good one. I always get excited for the wild card episodes. 17 watt. Thank you, Ruth, for hustling likes. What's up, Ruth? Thank you. It does matter. Yeah, hitting that stupid like and subscribe and notify button makes a huge difference. YouTube hates shows like this. They don't care. They don't care about developing them, helping them, making an algorithm easy. They like selling ads to the big boys. And then, by chance, you play the kind of game they like, then they might move you over. So, thank you. Thank you, thank you. What's up, sis? Jim, what's up? Party on. Happy Monday. We got tons of people in here. Lorcan, Michael, Charlemagne. We have people from all over the planet. Thank you for coming in. I have a great show. I have a few notes, but I saw somebody was eating mackerel, and it reminded them of me. Well, last night I had a new canned fish, and I was going to mention it. Something that blew my mind like no other. Before we get there, this is a live show. If you're in here and you watch all the time, please just hit the like and subscribe. If you donate, hallelujah, that's sweet too. If not, that's fine. It's all good. This is, I get it. Sometimes times are tough. Sometimes people don't care. It doesn't matter. Party. That's it. We're here to hang out. I'm here to throw some ideas out. I like to be the person that gets to do some research on my own about some fun is the key word, things, present them to a group of people that also like this kind of information, and then they spit it back at me and we chew on it and learn more stuff, all the while having a blast. And a lot of us here, Adam Dragoon. Do I know you? I know the name Adam. I know a lot of Adams. Do I know a Dragoon? How do I know you? Sometimes I got to ask you how I know you. This is kind of sad. Oh, yes. Lots of Vincent Price chat. I can't remember how I know people. I've met too many people now. I'll see a face. And the first thing I do is try to put you, do I know you from the music business or the variety magic show business? Or do I know you from the neighborhood? You know what I mean? Like I can't place people anymore. Is it age? Anybody else? Fallon, what's up? Is that an age thing? I don't know. Well, thank you, Adam, for supporting the cause. No, I really, anybody wants to know what's going on here, I'm just having fun. That's it. And if somebody says, do you have any advice? I have one piece of advice only, forever, from this moment forward. And that is, are you having fun? Anytime you are in a situation that's hairy, scary, wild, upsetting, things that you've involved yourself in or not, pause and go, am I having fun here? If the answer is no, which sometimes that's the answer, even with me, then you got to adjust. Then you start the adjustment to the fun part process. Fun doesn't mean happy. Okay? It can mean happy, but fun means something mirthful that's keeping you busy. And hopefully making you happy. Might not, but at least you're trying. So, like for instance, when people are bugging out from politics, religion, whatever, family, their families giving them some strife, stop and do the fun test. Are you having fun? Nope, then adjust. If you can't adjust them, then you got to just adjust yourself. And if you don't want to adjust yourself, back to the question, are you having fun? That's why I do it. It just always goes back to that. Now, I know people that like the strife, and their answer sometimes is, yeah, I like it. So, that's why I always ask. Thank you. Hey, Lorkin, bada bing, bada boom. Thank you very much. Yeah, love it. Party on Wayne. So, we got an episode tonight that's got some wacky themes. I have a couple stories I planned on telling you that I think you're really gonna... Why is fun so important? I knew you would ask that question, Charlemagne. In this show, I've never met Charlemagne. Have we ever met? No, I don't think so. But on this show, Charlemagne asks really great questions. He's the guy that returns things to philosophy, which is what this show ultimately is. But why is fun so important? Good question. Because it represents what I have whittled down with my chisel to myself, the things that I personally actually do admire from my core. Not because I was told to admire them, but things that I naturally am inclined to like. Those things and the activity of studying such brings me joy and keeps my brain, my data processor occupied in a manner that to me produces good chemicals. Yes, it's an experience. Yeah, we're not from the same country. Yeah, Charlemagne's overseas, yeah. I think, therefore, I ham. I love it. Oh, who wrote that originally? How do you know each other? Yeah, Melissa, I get what you're saying. You guys got to read the chats here. We have good chats. So, yeah, that's my mission. Have you guys seen the robot dog toy that came out a year ago? It's about this big. It has digital eyes and a digital mouth, so it does all of these expressions. And when I saw it, it made me go, oh, wow, because it does the thing that I do. It made me look forward. But the robot dog, it's like a robot pet, but a good one now. It comes to you, it plays games, it has a special ball that you can play fetch with. But here's the crazy part. It has an AI mode, and you can ask it questions, and it will answer and teach you things. Well, it'll teach you what the AI's from its point of view. The other thing is, when you're not at home, you can drive it around your house and look around and entertain your cat or kids or whoever's home that you want to torture with the robot that you can control from your iPhone. The robot charges in a little port that it drives into, and I think we are, in the next 20 years, going to have personal robots at home doing the dishes. I really think so. It's coming. Maybe 15 years at the most. This is not the Boston Dynamics one. No, this is like a toy, and it's good. The Boston Dynamics stuff, every time I see those things in their full glory, I imagine them with guns, because that's coming too, folks. These things run better than any robot in the Terminator movie. Like, when you see the Terminator movie, mind you, they had special effects. So they could do whatever they want. They could have made those robots run however the heck they wanted. But they made them, kind of robot-ish. Well, when you see Boston Dynamics, they have shoulders and hips that are able to move. And so, my goodness. Yes, it can make you a sandwich, Ruth. Yes. These robots will definitely be able to do that. Oh, yes. Oh, no, you're getting the sandwich and a back rub and whatever the heck you want. It's real. It's not a joke. It's coming. Now, here's the problem. The dummies are in trouble. The dummies are in trouble. I'm sorry to say it. If you're a dummy, you're getting replaced by a robot. Sorry. It is what it is. Unless they're going to make you pay tax on your robot because you're not hiring a person, which is what I think they're going to try to do to save the workforce, which ultimately will backfire eventually. It'll slowly, yeah. Right? Well, the AI dogs, imagine those things with guns too. Imagine them all with facial recognition and flight. Can they vote? They might be able to. They can also falsify your memories. Robots will be able to eventually predict your movements. And not only that, it'll be able to falsify things in history really quickly when it needs to for things. I mean, it'll be able to do whatever it wants without any ramifications. Spot with armaments would be terrifying. Well, they already have it. It exists. Go look. They're around. Yeah. No, yeah. Hopefully, Ruth, our generation will be gone before this happens. But get ready. Kids, learn how to deal with robots. Because that's what we're getting at. So this pet dog, they make it fun. That's how they get these things in, like Facebook. Like, hey, we're going to spy on you all day and sell your data, and you're not getting a piece of it. But we're going to give you 15 minutes of fame and dopamine blasts all day. And once in a while, you're going to get a post that makes you angry, and that'll keep you in here even more. So they figured it out. On the note of food, I discovered a new miracle food. Now, how many of you on here liked canned fish? I'm very curious. If you like canned fish, come on, participate here. If you like canned fish, let me hear you do a shout out. I'm curious because I love all things canned fish. Oh, the self-checkout store. What's it say? Hobots, brobots. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Ruth loves the canned fish. Tuna, okay. All right, we got some sardine fans. Tuna's, okay. Keep coming. Come on. If you're a stranger, come on, let me hear you. I'm curious. I'm trying to promote them. I'm curious. Can't do the cow. Okay, yes, I know. I mean, some people hate it. All right, here we go. We have a fish haters here. I knew there was going to be a few. Tuna in the pouch. Okay, I know those pouches. First time I saw that, I was like, huh, that's weird. Like the first time you saw a drink, remember the drink boxes? Remember the bag? Capri Sun or whatever? Come on, nobody else? No canned fish freaks? How about canned oysters? Canned pulpo. I mean, I call it pulpo. Octopus. How about tomato sauce? Here we go. All right. Canned chicken. That's not canned fish. Favorite canned fish prep. Fancy tuna. Oh, Brooklyn Dodger. Do I know you? If you're in Brooklyn, do I know you? Because you're over here. I just got a book called From Tin to Table. And this, I bought in the bookstore at the Culinary Institute of America, which is up in Hyde Park. Oh my gosh, I'm hiccuping. New York. My daughter is a student there. Hi, Moonlight, if you're watching. It's a book on how to use canned fish to make fancy little foods and snacks. Well, last night, I bought maybe a week ago a new one I'd never tried before, cod liver. Now, I know it sounds gross, but I'm telling you that, yes, that CIA school is amazing. The Culinary Institute looks like Hogwarts. It's beautiful. Cod liver, they don't put it in oil because the damn thing is so oily. Okay, so they just put it in the can. It is not, quote, fishy. I was shocked at how good it was. You put it on a cracker. It's got a pasty consistency. It's not like fish. It doesn't flake off. It's kind of pasty. Yeah, people are stopping eating octopi, I should say, because of their smart factor. They are like shockingly intelligent to the point where if you watch videos on people that have them as pets, it's hard to believe. You know, they crawl out of the tank and say hello. I mean, it's shocking to see a, quote, fishy creature, communicate. I eat everything. I don't judge foods by their intelligence. The magic word, Hogwarts. Yes. Cod liver. Oh my God. Well, they would just take the oil, but I'm sure it's fine. Oh, calamari is. Ha. So honestly, cod liver, it's got a lot of omega-3 and a bunch of other good stuff. Try it on a cracker. They sell it in cans. I don't know if all grocery stores carry it. I have one grocery store in my neighborhood that has a huge canned fish section. And then I have another one that has a tiny, tiny, tiny one. The tiny canned fish section is more of a white guy neighborhood. The ethnic neighborhood, and I don't mean ethnic, I mean everybody else, like Caribbean and Latino and some Asians and some everybody else. That grocery store has the best meat and fish section. I think the meat section's good because of the Caribbean influence in the neighborhood. And the fish section, I don't know who eats canned fish a lot, but there must be a lot. Cod liver oil is the new black people are using it for all kinds. I didn't know. I mean, I Trader Joe's has a huge selection of. I didn't know that. Interesting. I'm telling you, canned fish is healthy. The little fish don't have a lot of mercury and the whole pollution thing. You get the little guys. Look at where, do a little research. Try to buy the better ones. Don't use soybean oil. There's some oils to stay away from, but my golly, if you have kids, if you can get them used to canned fish for snacks, you are in business. They will always be able to eat meals wherever they go. Camping, school, survival, emergency, traveling. They're the best travel food. So, what's cod liver oil used for? Lowering cholesterol. It's omega-3. So it's good for your brain. It's good for... I've been eating fish my whole life and canned fish my whole life. I had a granddad, my mother's father. My sister's in here too. She'll remember. He was a avid sardine eater, and I remember being very young and eating the little spine with him. And, he's the one that taught me how to do it. Um, Skin, hair, cuticles, scar healing. Yes, yeah. So I'm now on it. I'm gonna order a bunch. I'm gonna the next time I go, I'm gonna buy a bunch of cans and I'm in. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. That smoke ring was so big it was heavy. um they apply to the abdomen for lymph wow. That's cod liver, huh? I didn't know that. Pappy. Our Pappy was awesome. I watched the other day for the first time City of the Living Dead by Fulci. It's one of the old ones I missed. His Gates of Hell trilogy. I missed them. I saw Zombie. It disturbed me. Anybody ever see Zombie? Um, Zombie in America, when it came out, was called Zombie 2. No, I'm sorry. In Europe, it was called Zombie 2. They marketed it as a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. Go figure. Here, they just called it Zombie. It was originally supposed to be called, like, Adventure, Escape to the something island or something. Ah, there you go, Mr. Mealy. Yes, Christopher. I was blown away. I didn't love it on the level that I loved Shanks. But I did love it a lot. And I will watch it again. And do hospitals have lectures? Are you kidding me? Wait, what? Wow! That is awesome. Ah, here we go. Arthritic joint pain. That's me. Cardiovascular disease prevention. I'll take that. Excellent source of vitamin A and D for immune system functions by James Dunn. Thank you. See, this group is awesome. Oh, wow. You got to see it live. Wait, do I know you, Brooklyn Dodger? I'm getting people mixed up here. Really good for your eyes, which I have problems with. Oh, God, that hurts. Jeez Louise, it's bright in here. I've been having light sensitivity issues to the point where it's hard to drive. Yeah, so City of the Living Dead, I'm all over it. I just got this. The Blu-ray for the Disney film Dragon Slayer, which it's a Disney movie, fantasy. It shows severed limbs, dead bodies, and nudity. Can't go wrong. It's a Disney movie, and I got it on Blu-ray. I saw this with you, Fran, at the movie theaters in Hollidaysburg when I was... What year did this come out? 1980? Excellent movie, Dragon Slayer. It has one of the greatest film dragons of all time. It's the people that did the stop motion for Star Wars movies. It's a little different than regular stop motion. You know, stop motion's click, take a picture, click, take a picture, click. So, the Star Wars movies, they don't do that. They do click, take a picture, run real film and puppet it, and then do it again. So they mix puppeting with actual stop motion work. It's a new technique. Well, the dragon in that movie, Dragon Slayer, does that. And, no. Slayer got their name from that? No. If they did, that's crazy. The film Slayer took their name from. So this movie, it does have really good effects. When they show the dragon, it looks real. It's a mixture of this special stop motion and puppetry, and there's no CG. And there's a Manowar song called Ride the Dragon that's basically the story of the movie. But it's a wizard story, and it's really good. I love the story. It's got a really, really neat story, and I really like it. Is the stop motion done by Phil Tippett? I think it might be. I forget the name of the style of stop motion it is. It's not the regular. It's its own thing. They did the Tauntauns in Star Wars. And they did the AT-ATs and all the robots, you know, the big ones. They were also, quote, stop motion. I forget the name of the dragon in this movie. Galroch? I forget. It's great. It's a great dragon movie. It's got a great ending, and it's got a great beginning, and it's violent and scary, and it's very, very Dungeons and Dragons. So, that's a new one. New horror. Did you guys see the trailer for that new Sony movie? Heart Eyes? It looks like AI wrote the script. I'm starting to see things now. No, it's a Sony film. Right now, all the good horror films are coming out from independent studios and really independent, like Damien Leone and Terrifier and all of that, right? So clearly, horror has been a moneymaker for what? Since the beginning. Since Bela Lugosi and all of that. They were making money. And then you go all the way to the 80s, and Paramount was killing it with these little cheap Friday the 13th movies that people liked. So here we go. Sony's trying to hustle it. Mad God. I think I might have seen this. That's ringing a bell. What is that? Is that like an art film? Because I think I saw it. So there's a new movie by Sony. It's called like Heart Eyes or something. It's an emoji face killer with light up heart. It looks very like, they said it's a rom-com meets Scream. That's the pitch. I don't like rom-coms. I hate even using that word. Please forgive me for saying it. I don't even want to say that word. And Sony making an emoji horror film. So it's a big budgeted B movie. I'll pass. It looks dumb. It looks like they spent, I don't know. It just looks, it's like taking good music and auto-tuning it and putting fake drums. That's what those movies look like. It looks like they gave it to AI to do a pass over it and make the script and clean it up and make it look like everything else. That's what it looked like. But what new horror is coming out? Terrifier 4 is being scripted now. He started, I think. And he said it's the last one, which I don't believe, but... It has a My Bloody Valentine feel. Yes, Melissa, that is exactly what it is. They're trying to make money. You know, they're trying to do a Valentine's Day movie. Did anybody see Thanksgiving Day, the movie? It came out not this year, but last year. It's okay. It's not going to get remembered. It's not Art the Clown. No one's going to remember. Got to keep track of time here. I have so much to mention. The Grammys. Oh my gosh. I'm not talking much about them. I always play, and maybe at the end of the show I'll play Odorous Urungus's thoughts on the Grammys. I play it a few times a year. I can't stand corporate music. I can't deal with it. I don't like watching those people play with each other live on TV, because that's what it looks like. It's the rich and famous giving each other awards to make themselves sell more product. I mean, that's all it is. I don't care. I don't like the music. I don't like the vibes. I don't like the red carpet junk. I do think it's hilarious that Kanye showed up without being invited when his woman was basically naked. I thought it was funny. For trolling purposes, that was good. Lord of Misrule. I have not seen that. Yes. Oh, there you go. Yes, see? An AI script generator. Yeah. We're going to start seeing a lot of that. I can't read anything anymore online, because when I'm reading, I'm like, this is AI. Nobody does their own research. It's all AI. It's over, folks. It's over. Never complain about facts and truth anymore. You're not going to win. It's done. It's done. Over. There's no such thing. You can fabricate something and then create a false history behind it at this point. It's really going to get messy. AI is going to start making movies. They're going to just start spitting them out. Already done. Nightmare. Oh, yes. Bones and all. What is that? Wait. Hold on. What's Bones and all? I did like Bone Tomahawk. That movie did not get a buzz. I didn't even hear about it until a year or so ago. Bones and all. What is that? I don't know what that is. But as for Grammys go and music and pop music and country and whatever, I just, if it's auto-tuned and has fake drums, which most of it does at this point, I kind of purposely tune it out. Why would I bother? There's so many other things I'd rather draw my attention to. You know, the whole idea of people like, oh, you should, have an open mind. It's like, no, you can't have an open mind for everything. Your head will explode. You have to steer it towards a few things. I can't take it all in, so why would I even waste my time? I'm sure it's political. I'm sure I didn't see it, but I'm sure it was a big part of the program. It was during folks, during the Oscars, Sean Penn, who really does look like, and it's a meme, he looks like all Three Stooges combined now. Someone made a meme. I was like, wow. Sean Penn comes out crying, and then, hello, I am Zelensky. And then they pipe him in? Wow. I mean, this is just like, what? Let me out. I'm out. I have checked out, folks. Done. Anything for Jackson. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's a horror movie with cannibals. Okay. Bone Tomahawk is got some of the best little acting scenes in it, aside from the horror. Like the little the act. I gotta order that on Blu-ray. Folks, buy digital media. It's not always online, and they do take things down. And when they don't like a movie in the future because it makes somebody angry, you won't be able to get it. Seriously, buy real media. I'm telling you, you got to find a new photo of Sean Penn. Oh, my mom saw Bones and all. My mama likes horror films. I'm a lucky guy. My sister too. I don't know that movie. Green Inferno is an Eli Roth film that I actually liked. I did. I saw it opening night, and I was the only guy in the theater. I wanted to talk about... Lorcan mentioned my pipe, which I wanted to show you. I've had this pipe since high school. So, I have yet to do this episode, but I will one day. One of my hobbies that I took very seriously for many, many, many years, I have not been involved in about 7 years. It was pipe smoking, tobacco. It was the way to get the finest tobacco in the world at the lowest price, is smoking pipes. Cigars, you're paying top dollar. Pipes, you can get the finest for 1/10 the cost of cigar smoking. And so I still have my... Oh, yes. I did see the Black House. I don't know if that was a nod to the COS, but was it? If it was. Yes, that was an ode to Cannibal Holocaust, and it was funny. It was a little funny. With kids. A horror movie with kids. Yeah. Well, don't see Terrifier 3. Oh, no. Run from that film. That is the most brutal thing I've ever seen. So, I have an extensive pipe collection I one day will sell. My kids can have them. There's a few that belong to great-granddad Donato Lardieri. There's 2 really nice pipes, which is how I got into the hobby. I found some cool pipes and started doing research and was blown away by the pipe smoking hobby. It's not easy. You have to take care of them, and most people don't know how to do it. It's a very complicated process. Pipes grow a cake of carbon that you have to tend to, or it busts the pipe. But at any rate, I don't smoke tobacco anymore, and I haven't for at least almost 10 years. No, 8 years. And yeah, about 8 or 9 years now. Holy wow. But I do smoke other spices. And I'm going to show you something. Oh, you got into... Okay, listen. I'm going to be honest, Lorcan. I love cigars. Oh, yes, I do. Camacho Triple Maduro. Was the last one I smoked. Anywho, this pipe I've had since high school. Now, I've gotten some sweet deals on pipes over the years. I'll tell you about this. Because I made friends with the people that work in pipe stores. When you work in a pipe store, people hang out. They smoke. They chat. And so you make friends with them, and then you make good friends, and then they sell you the pipes at cost. Okay. So a good pipe will put you back anywhere from $100 to $1,000 or more. It has to do with the perfection of the grain in the wood and how tight the grain pattern is. And there's a lot of things. But at any rate, this I've had since high school. When I purchased the pipe, oh, come on, focus. There we go. I bought this pipe at the Georgetown tobacco store in D.C. in high school. My mama used to live in D.C. for 30 years. And when I would visit, I would smoke my brains out because they had a great pipe shop there. And I bought this. This is Meerschaum. It was pure white when I bought it. It was like a... Well, this is not pure white anymore because I party in this, but... Yeah, now it's got a nice brownish chestnut color. It's hard to see. Here it got really dark. And, okay, so here's what this is. Yeah, no tobacco for 8 years. Meerschaum is carved, fossilized seashell. And Turkey is, I think, the biggest exporter. And it's spongy when they get it out of the ground. And it's white, and they carve it. And it's easy to carve. It's soft. Davidoff, Winston, Churchill. The late, oh yes, I do. They are 2-3 hours of pure joy. And I don't drink, but a cup of coffee, oh Lord have mercy. So this pipe, the thing about it that's wonderful is it's actually really great with herbs and spices. So this is the only one I actually smoke anymore. And they slowly color. You know, to get it pitch black or dark brown, it takes a few lifetimes of smoking. And yeah, so okay. So I was very picky with my blends. I know that blend. I was not an aromatic smoker. So when you smell pipe tobacco and people go, "Oh, I like it." That's not what I smoked. If it smelled like cherries and vanilla, I didn't like it. I like the ones that smelled bad because they tasted good. Is someone messaging me? Hold on, folks. Oh yeah, I'm getting messages. Nectar cigar. Okay, so at any rate, these are highly absorbent. They stay cool. They don't give the tobacco or herbs or anything any flavor. Briarwood does. Some materials are better than others, and but the old Meerschaums, this part here, the stem, this is called the stem, this is the bowl, this is the mortise. Actually, the mortise is the thing that goes into the shank. This is the shank, the mortise is the... So the original Meerschaums, they used amber, and they're very hard to find, and they crack. These are acrylics. The girly tobacco. What's girly tobacco? What is girly to you mean like those cigarettes that are long and skinny? Remember those cigarettes? Capri, what were they called? They were like long and skinny and weird looking. Those were what I always thought were girly cigarettes. And they were marketed to ladies, I believe, weren't they? Am I crazy for remembering that? Oh, the rum and the vanilla. Yeah, I don't like those. Those taste terrible. They're chemicals. They just put chemicals on the tobacco. It ruins the tobacco. Yeah, I can't smoke. Tobacco to me is too sticky. It's too heavy and sticky. And nicotine is highly addictive. This is like no cigarettes. Yeah, cigarettes stink. Virginia Slims. Nat Sherman. Fantasia Lights. Oh, yes. The Capris. That's what I remember. Even the package was weird. Lemmy smoked Capris? What? I did go to Nat Sherman. Yes. Do you remember De La Concha? That was my favorite in Manhattan. And then there was one right below Union Square. I don't even remember the name. I made friends with the guy. Okay, so Barclay Rex, the other pipe store. I made friends with people there. Rainbow. Yes, I do remember this. Nat Sherman was nice. And I will say their cigarettes were noticeably better. My mama smokes cigars. My mama is an old Italian lady that likes to smoke cigars. Sorry, mama. What do you like? Nat Sherman's? She smokes Nat Sherman cigars. My mom. Wow. That's weird. Wow. Oh, your mama liked it. Well, that's what got her, huh? I'm sure she liked smoking them, right? Well, you smoke a cigar, and I'm gonna roll a joint the size of your cigar. I don't know if you like the greenery. Are you a greenery fan? New York City might be the greatest greenery city in the world right now. Not kidding. We have stores everywhere, backyard people do. Everybody has it. It's the most willy-nilly around, and then you can smoke it anywhere you can smoke cigarettes or cigars. So they don't make you hide it. That's the part that's ridiculous. Yeah, the rainbow cigarettes. Yeah, dude. Cigar. Listen, I used to smoke cigars on a surfboard. So here's what I used to do. Before I lived out here, I would come out. Now we have the surf cam, so you could see the camera. And I would see the waves, and I would smoke at that time chair roots, which are the kind that you see Clint Eastwood smoking in the movies. They're kind of dried out Italian cigars. Some of them are dipped in anise, right? They're kind of nasty. Anyway. Okay. That's a lot of people, actually. They get tired. So I would smoke a cigar, about halfway down, and then I would paddle out on my surfboard and finish it out on the water, and then throw it to the fish, and then ride waves. That was my little good, especially when the waves weren't great. That was definitely my morning. Yeah, for a long time, right up until I quit. I love that we took this to a. You were just typing Clint Eastwood. Wow. Yeah, he smoked in all of those movies the Italian chair root style cigar, which they're dry. They're sold dry. They're kind of a weird one. Cher Beatty and cloves. Yes. Yes, I love it. Christopher. I miss clove cigarettes, the smell on the street. They banned them. I can't believe they're banned. It's ridiculous. They said it was marketed to kids. It's ridiculous. If somebody wants to smoke clove cigarettes, who the hell cares? If somebody wants to hoof gasoline, go right ahead. Who cares? Really? It's ridiculous. Clove cigarettes smell better than all the other ones. All right, I got a story to tell. I got a good story. And it's New York. We're going to talk about coming in the city. Because I used to smoke. When I moved to New York City, I used to smoke cigarettes, smoke cigars, smoke pipe tobacco, chew tobacco, side chew, chew snuff tobacco, Copenhagen fine cut, and I used to do on my hand tobacco up my nose. Snuff, real snuff, menthol flavored. I had a few. I also used to like, they were called Kentucky Bits. It's black licorice with tobacco in the middle. I used to eat them all day. So just to get a little bit about my background with tobacco and why I don't have it anymore. I'm not exaggerating. Tobacco, as Frank Zappa would say, that was my favorite vegetable. It does something. It does hone the senses. It does some sort of, I don't know. Okay. So when I moved to New York, I was living on my friend's couch. I was paying him to sleep on his couch. And what I didn't know is his roommates didn't know I was paying him to sleep on the couch. So they were like, who's this guy? I brought with me one steamer trunk. One. It had a pillow and some clothes. And I'm trying to think of what it had notebooks, and it had some, like, I think I brought a CD Walkman, like a music thing. But all of my stuff that I owned, which wasn't a lot, you know, I had like a one little bedroom's full of junk I collected. Mostly books, videotapes, games, board games, stuff like that, right? I didn't have a lot of stuff at that point. Not like this. I mean, I had toys and stuff, but it fit in one room. Because I always lived with roommates and, you know. So when I moved here, I just had a steamer trunk. Yeah, I was wacky with tobacco, like really bad. I mean, and all through, oh my God, yeah, Ruth, it might be. Kentucky Bits were really good. So, I did try hookah. Not a fan. Not enough nicotine. And you're inhaling vapor of glycerin. It's weird. I didn't like it. So, I came here with that trunk, and I'm sleeping on my buddy's couch, and my stuff that I owned was at my parents' house. You know, it was like in a room, stacked in a corner. And so here I am, and I had my money that I had made working all summer, because it was in August I had moved to New York City. Hot August. I'm blanking out because I'm like remembering little bits and pieces. I was like working at a Shakespeare festival for 4 months before that. I was in 2 shows. I was in Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth. And I was fight captain on both shows. I've told the stories about those, I believe. So, and fight captain was, I ran all the fight sequences with everybody, and I was in most of them too, for the unions for safety reasons. You have to kind of run them a little map through right before. It's kind of crazy. You get to run your fight every night before you get in I think we did ours right after we put our costumes on. We run out and just run through it really quick before they open the house. I kind of remember doing it with costumes on, but we had weird outfits. So at any rate, I worked. It was a union gig, and I made money. It wasn't great, but it was fine. I moved to New York, and within a month, my money's basically run out. It started to go quick. Just living there. But I was living on a few dollars a day, because in Uptown, I was living on 111th Street, right off of Amsterdam Avenue, right around the corner from one of the largest cathedrals on earth, St. John the Divine, Episcopalian, right? And so my money, there was a pizza place called Coronet Pizza, which I think is still there, that had pizza slices that were $2, which they were this big. They were like a pizza slice that was, it looked like something you'd see in a Pee Wee Herman episode, because the pizzas were like, I'm not kidding you, they were massive. It was kind of their thing. They had these giant slices for $2. Each slice was like pretty much 3 slices of a regular slice. Yes, it is an amazing church. And they do have events there that are mind-blowing. The blessing of the animals, and they do a Halloween. I saw Nosferatu in that church with demons coming out of the altar. I'm not kidding. Another story. I also got to see my preschool teacher. That's a whole... Remind me, Paul Winters. Somebody remind me, Paul Winters. I'll try to remember this story. So, you're going to like this story. This is interesting. If you're from the city or you've been to the city, this is going to remind you of some of the old days. So, I got to check my messages because sometimes it's people telling me, whoa, what's this? I'm going to be like, I'm online live now. So, my money's running out. I'm eating $2 slices of pizza. There's a bagel shop called Columbia Bagels where a bagel's 50 cents and a coffee's 50 cents. So my breakfast was $1, my lunch and dinner was $2, and then maybe I'd squeeze in something at home I made. So I was living on pizza, bagels, coffee, tobacco. No booze, no weed. None. No time. Too busy. No ladies either. Single. So, I'm living on this dude's couch. I'm running out of money. I need a job. And I didn't really... Diamanda? Oh, yes. Diamanda Galas performed there. Yes. I needed a job. And I wanted to work close to home up there because I was a little tiny gnat in one of the largest cities on earth. I'm from Altoona, Pennsylvania, folks, originally. And here I am at 21. Here I am, right? So the one that I don't know why I asked, I think I was getting desperate because I was like, there's nowhere cool up here to work. I didn't go far in the city. I was just starting to explore neighborhoods. And of course, the first thing I did when I got to New York City is I started going to see rock and roll shows. Right away. That was it. I went downtown, and I've told the story about the first show I saw at Coney Island High. But at any rate, so I went in the bagel shop, and I went, yo, you guys hiring? And I don't know who I asked. At this point, I don't remember who it was. But they were like, yeah, hold on for a second. And then the boss man was like, his name was Andy. He came up and was like, yeah, here, come downstairs. So, oh yes, that's where they found him. That's where I'm from. Actually, I was at that McDonald's just a week or so ago, visiting. Anyway, that's the McDonald's I used to hang out in high school and in middle school and in elementary school. That was my McDonald's near my house. And my friend Richie worked there. No kidding. So here's how, I'm not kidding you. The bagel shop was this skinny little line down the street bagel shop that in the back, there was a little elevator and where they made them. But it was skinny and tiny. And then they had the wall of drinks and a counter. It was like it was like wall of drinks, counter, long and skinny. And I went under this thing, behind the counter, in a trap door in the floor, down a spiral staircase, in a hole in the wall, and they had a little office. I mean, it was a rat hole. And this guy was like an Irish ex-cop. It was 2 ex-cops that owned this place. And it was a very, very successful bagel place. Tiny. Now, the basement was big, because that's where they made all the dough. There was a big basement area where they had the dough and the vats, and they're down there making it. It was 24 hours, and Columbia Bagels baked bagels for all of the bakeries uptown, including Zabar's, the really fancy, expensive New York Jewish style grocery store that had all of the traditional bagels and, the gefilte fishes. And, it's an old school deli grocery store place. Anyway, we made their bagels. We made really authentic, true New York bagels that we would win awards for as most authentic because we didn't put sugar in them. And we had the rabbi stamp of approval. We were like official kosher. There's different degrees of kosher, just so you know. But in New York, it's in your, interest to go kosher because you'll get more customers, clearly. So we were kosher. I remember the rabbi coming in and doing his thing. And then, and we didn't have a lock on the door. There was no lock on the door. You couldn't lock the door. There was no lock. It was like a hole. It was wild. Okay. Meanwhile, the crime rate back then, it was New York. It was old New York. It was still wild. I don't know if I told the story of the bloody man on my roof while I was camping on my roof. And I mean, it was violent and there was definitely a high crime, and it was not New York City well, it's more like it is now, I'll be honest, because the crime rate's crazy right now. So at any rate, so the guy Jeff is like, yo, you want to work? Yeah, come tomorrow. And I was like, great. And let me think of how much I got paid. I can't remember. I think it was like $7 an hour plus all the food I could eat while I worked. That's what it was. And I worked 6 days a week. And the shift was 4 to midnight. Now, one of the guys that I worked with could be watching the show. I don't know if Salam is in here. He might be. Salam, if you're in here, please say hi. I mean, okay, so I have such strong memories of this place because of the situation I was in and my age and my impressionability to the world and the people I was with. I have very strong memories. So I got the job. I wasn't involved in anything yet. No theater, no music, no magic, nothing. Nothing. I knew a couple people in the city. That's it. I mean, I was a little guy, just boop. And so here I am. The shift was going to be me and 2 other dudes, Babalu and Salam, both Bangladeshi guys. And it was awesome. Okay, so here I am. I mean, it really was all you can eat food, and your friends could eat too. We'll talk about that because we did feed all of our friends. We had to deal with a lot of homeless guys and bums, which I'll tell you a quick story about that before I bounce. So, okay, my shift, we had to sell to the public. And sometimes you needed 3 people for that. It depends. Sometimes you could do it with 1, sometimes you could do it 2, and sometimes you needed 3. And that meant taking an order, making it, getting it in a bag, and someone ringing it up, right? It was just like, I'm going to get you. And sometimes one guy rang it. Everybody had different systems. But our shift was a 3-guy shift. The midnight to 8 in the morning shift was a 4-guy shift. And 8 in the morning till 4 p.m., the day shift, they were a lot of people. Because we were making bagels not just for us. We were making them for other places. And they would do pickups throughout the day. And so it was kind of wild. So that oven was going all the time. My shift only had to bake bagels for the store. And it was going to be one of us 3 doing that. And when I got the job, I didn't know anything about baking bagels. And so, okay, so here I am. And I quickly learned, and I'm learning disabled in math, but I got to be able to ring up without any calculator every item in the store. I just figured it out. And I could ding, cash. No credit card, cash only. I don't remember ever ringing up a credit card machine. It was cash only. Sometimes people would come in and be like, I want 15 coffees, all milk and 2 sugars. I mean, we were so fast that when I walk into stores now, I just want to slap the people working when there's a long line. Because I'm like, wow. Me and my 2 guys, we could have made this line disappear in 2 seconds. I was able to do 2 orders at once. I mean, it was wild. We had to do that because it would get busy. Okay. We were also the garbage shift. We were the shift that moved the garbage out because there was a lot of garbage. We made a lot of garbage, and it was disgusting. And so I was gonna learn how to do that too. So that's it. We had to run the store, make bagels, do the garbage. I don't remember anything else. If they're in here, I don't even remember. I think one of them did a little bit of bookkeeping. At one point, they kept track of a couple things, but I didn't. Salam was technically the manager at that time. He was on my shift. He was the boss. So they taught me how to bake bagels, and if you don't know, they make the dough, they let it rise, and then they put them in these giant refrigerators on racks, and they're on wooden boards. Each rack is about, I don't know, 5-6 feet tall, and has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15, 20 slats of bagels, and they're all over the place. And there's raisin bagels and plain bagels, right? Egg bagels. We had some other weird ones. Whole wheat bagels, pumpernickel bagels, right? So they mix the dough, make the thing, it rises, and then they put it in the fridge. And then the racks get put in the elevator and taken up this tiny little elevator up to the top, and it comes out, and then you make the bagels right there. So when you're ready to roll, you take one of those racks out of the elevator, take one of the wooden boards that has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 bagels? I don't know, no. 4, I can't remember if it was 4 or 5 across. I can't remember. Really, I can't. I'm trying to remember. It was either 4 or 5 bagels across and 4 or 5, 6 deep. So the trays had a lot of bagels on them. So you take one and you dump, and they're all stuck together. They're all touching each other, right? So you dump them in this giant vat of boiling water, stick in a big wooden paddle, and start breaking them up because they got to break a bit. And this is the key component to the process. While you're doing this boiling thing, you will get splashed with boiling water. A lot. Kind of like all the time. So, right, you're like, you stir them up, and then you turn, and here's this giant oven, 6 massive shelves in the oven that rotate, and then this big metal platform with a hose and wooden boards. And each wooden board holds 4 or 5 bagels. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6. There was a whole bunch. It was like this long, the board. And there's like board, 3. It's like 3, 3, 3, 3, right? So you scoop with this basket these boiled bagels and dump it in this big thing in front of the oven. And you quickly, with your bare hands, again, touching these boiling hot things, put them on the boards, right? And you line them up. Then you get the scooper out with the onion bagel or sesame bagel, and you, right? And they stick to the top, right? Then you stop the oven, clunk, clunk, open it up, and there are these big flat, and you take the boards and you slide them in with your bare hand, long ways, in like this. And once they're all in, boom, click, and then you hit the thing, and they go around. After it goes around twice, you stop it, reach in, grab the burning hot wood, and flip the bagels, and the whole flat thing of them flips over on top, and then you go, 1, throw it in the thing, 2, throw it in the thing, 3, and you're just flipping them one at a time, throwing them in. Meanwhile, you're burning your hand. You get used to it eventually. No joke. No joke. And you do go around again a few times, and then you have a big flat paddle. You slide under them, which is its own art form of getting it under a whole bunch of them. Take them out, and you dump them in these metal baskets, and those baskets go out. And that's what you do. And then you're doing 6 shelves of... I would only ever do 3 or 4 shelves. I don't remember doing all 6. But the day did. And that... Yes, it was by Columbia University. Yes. Our customers were students, cops, firemen, ambulance workers, homeless people, millionaires, movie stars, clergy, everybody, but a lot of students. Yeah. OSHA, what is that? Yeah. So, that's what I did. My hands getting burned, I got used to. You eventually are like, yeah, it's fine. You just do it. It's like mind over matter. You're like, the boiling water on the forearms. So I was gonna tell you a couple stories. The garbage. I actually learned to like garbage. I became the garbage man. A lot of people. I always tell people my past life. I was definitely like a garbage man, gong farmer type. Occupational health and safety. Well, here's something else. I mean, after midnight, at 3, 4 in the morning, we would get the truckloads of flour in the middle of the night because they didn't want anybody to see how much we were making. And so for extra money, which I always volunteered for, I would carry them in. It was me and 2 dudes from somewhere, I don't know. They didn't speak English. And it was bad. It was backbreaking. I don't know. We would carry in like 80 bags of flour on our backs one at a time. They were 50-pound bags. This is why I'm messed up. Like when I tell these stories, I'm like, yeah, when I think about how much tobacco I was ingesting and then those jobs. Meanwhile, I'm trying to make a career in performance and art. And that was how I started. And so I quickly made friends with everybody in the neighborhood because I worked at the bagel shop. I bumped into people that I would never dream. I made friends with all the homeless guys. I mean, I kind of, and then, yeah, I mean, it was like a doorway opened, just to New York City. I was plugged in. And there was and it's still there. It's around the corner on Amsterdam, near where I lived. I eventually got an apartment near where I was couch sleeping. I took over an apartment of somebody from my hometown that I randomly bumped into. It was a random bump into. And the next thing I know, I'm renting their apartment. And the next thing I know, I'm bringing in roommates and then it turned chaotic. But there was a place, and still is, called the Hungarian Tea Shop. I believe that's what it's called. It's either the Hungarian Tea Shop or Tea House. Right across the street from St. John the Divine. And I walked in there it was like a day off and beautiful weather. We were close to the Central Park. I was mugged on the corner of St. John the Divine on 110th Street. I fought the guy. I actually hit the guy like, I don't know, 5 times. It was like, gug. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. And so I went into the Hungarian tea shop and I had a notebook. I prefer clipboards now because the pages separate and I can organize them. But when I was young, I liked those hardback notebooks, journals with no line work. I liked it with no lines because I could draw pictures and for theater and performance, I could draw stagings and notes. So I took my notebook in there and I did a formal ritual in writing format of a plan of sorts, of things I wanted to do with my life in New York City. A pretty detailed plan, which it's funny. I was looking at the notebooks, these old books the other day. Well, I might break them out and take a closer examination. I'm curious of a few things. But I sat down and I kind of dreamed of where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, the types of people I wanted to be around, surrounded by, projects I wanted to do, people I wanted to meet. And I'm not kidding. Everything came true. All of it. And then some. All of it. All of it. And I didn't have any. I think we all are literally just lucky breaks. You know, people go, I never had a lucky break. Well, I think everything's a lucky break. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're just lucky, right? To be conscious space dust for a few minutes. But aside from that, when I say I never had any lucky breaks, it's because everything I did pretty much took time, like, for the really good stuff to kind of bloom. You know, like, I was involved in all sorts of stuff, and there was modeling jobs and rock tours and making records and partying with rock stars and doing nightclub work and getting my foot in the door with, like, some of the sideshow stuff, and just everything was just starting to get my feet wet. But they didn't come to, like, a flower bloom until many years later. You know, all the really good stuff. It took a while. And so, but it all started on that couch. And the couch, you'll know whose couch. You remember the TV commercial, "Are you gelling like a felon?" That's the guy's couch I was sleeping on, the like a felon guy. Yeah. And then I started, I got into the music business via a theater project I was in. And I went and saw a band with a friend. It was a girl that was like, "You need to go see this band." And I listened to her, and we went. She was like, "You're going to love this band." And I just met her in the show we were in. She was like one of the cast members. And people don't recommend bands too often to me, especially in the theater business. And we were doing a play with Tom O'Horrigan, the director of Hair and Jesus Christ Superstar. I could do a whole show on him, which I will one day. That's a good one. Tom O. Okay, so she brought me to see a band, and the headliner, there were opening bands, and one of the opening bands needed a bass player, and that's how I got in the music scene. And then 7 years later, I ended up playing in the other band, the headliner. I was in both bands at the same time for a minute, which was crazy. That was weird. Wow. Oh, Paul Winter! Yes, and this is the end of the show. My Paul Winter story. Did I tell this story last week? I don't think so. I'm starting to forget which ones I'm telling. But if I did tell this story, please stop me. When I was little, there was a preschool that I went to. And I have very strong memories of it. I really do. It's weird. Like, there's certain scenes of it I can really see crystal clear. They had a roller coaster that didn't work. It was one of those ones you, like, manually do it. I remember seeing it. And her name was Mrs. Winters. And what I didn't know is her son was from my little hometown of Altoona, her son was a Grammy award-winning musician. Look up Paul Winters. He makes this beautiful kind of soft jazz that imitates animal sounds. At least that's how he got famous. I don't even know what genre of music you call it. It's like, what is that? What's the Kenny G's genre? But it's not Kenny G. That's insulting. That's insulting to Paul Winters. But at any rate, his mom owned a preschool, and her son was this famous musician, which I didn't know about when I was 3 and 4 years old. And, oh yeah, my sister's in here. It's crazy. So I remember playing with the kids, and the kid, I remember his name is Joshua Iorio, but my mom told me it was somebody else. Did I tell this story? They were these little metal cap guns. They're metal. And you pull the hammer back and you put caps and bang, right? Well, we didn't have the caps, but we had all these little metal guns, And back then, no, it's not Muzak. Quaalude Jazz. Yeah, but there's a, it's like not world music, but it's easy world music. I don't know. But Paul Winters, look him up. He's like legit, right? So we had these little guns, and all the little boys like guns. And, back then, little girls played with dolls, and little boys played with guns. And I remember out of nowhere getting whacked really hard in the head with one of those little metal guns. What up? And being like, ow. And I remember seeing the guy that did it and just looking at him like, what is wrong with you? Why would you just hit me? Was that like your arm moved and you couldn't control it? Like, it like blew my mind. I was mad and angered and just like shocked that somebody would behave that way. Well, I didn't forget it. So, now I don't remember how long after, if it was a week or two, or I don't remember. I don't remember it was the next day. But I ended up hitting that kid with a 2x4. We had these boards. I told this story last week, I think. Yeah, so that, and then I got in trouble. I got caught. I remember I went and told him that he hit me with the gun. I was like, yo, that kid just hit me. He can't do that. And then he didn't get in trouble. Well, I hit the kid in the head. I saw him. I'll never forget it. I saw him. No one was looking. I took the board and I just whacked him in the head. I got in trouble and I had to sit in the green bench. And I didn't care. That lady, there we go. At St. John. Okay, wait, I'm getting to St. John the Divine. Okay, so he was there 2 years ago, which blows my mind. So 25 years ago, when I first moved to New York, he was performing there. And I went, and she was in the front row, Mrs. Winters. And I went up to her. I was like, you're never going to remember me. My name's Adam Cardone. You were my preschool teacher when I was a really little kid, and I actually still remember a lot of it, and you. Thank you. And she was like, oh my. She was like, yeah. She died not long after. She was in her 90s then. Yeah. Wow. So he's still there. Oh, I love it. So that's my Paul Winters St. John the Divine story. Whew. What a story. Folks, hit the like and subscribe. I've been talking for a while. So listen. At 10 p.m., which is in 40 minutes, I'm going to be on Whatnot. Whatnot looks like I can't show you the app. It's black with a yellow W. I'm going to try to do this once a week. I've just started. I did it last week after the show. It is a mixture of YouTube, or TikTok more, and eBay, where people are doing live sales. Some people are doing it like this. Some people, you don't see them. You just see their hands. And they're showing things. A lot of it's quick and fast. Really, like, here's a vintage lighter, $2, and people are bidding on it. And I made $100 in 10 minutes last Monday. After. I mean, I wasn't even trying. And I have a few things tonight I'm going to try. I'm just now learning how to use it. I don't think it'll be around forever. It'll get ruined by something corporate eventually. But for now, if you're like an eBay person, and I am an eBay person, I'm books, movies, records, vintage shirts. Tonight I'm doing vintage clothing. T-shirts. I have a vintage Batman shirt and a few things. You do it live right there. Boom, boom. And all you do is it prints the label. It knows how much it weighs. You tell it how much it weighs. It prints the label. You bring it to the post office. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to deal with postage. The customer just gets the bill. How do you get paid? Asked the Jew. I love it. It's true. How do you get paid? It's just like eBay. They bid on it. Let's say it's something that's $50 and you're like, I don't care. I'll take 10 or 20. Somebody bids and there's a little, you can set it up how you want to do the auction. And if you want it short, long, when I say short, they're only a few minutes. And then after they receive it, the payment gets sent to an account in the app, and then you can transfer it to your bank. That's it. So it's kind of like anything, it's the same junk we're used to. PayPal or, but if you have stuff to get rid of, I haven't seen, there are people on it hustling it really heavy right now. Really. Like they have a little team doing it, which if you have a couple people, it's really easy. One is easy, but if you have 2 or 3 where as soon as you sell it, they're printing out the label immediately, you can do that. So you send, no, they pay, but you don't get it. They're paid. You send it, after they get it and say, yeah, I got it, then you get the pay. That's how it works. This one has a moderator in the middle more. They're a little bit more moderate-y because, yes. But so far, I have a buddy that's doing it, and he's really, like, taking it full on. It's not bad. You know how they make money? What's the catch is what I'm a con man. The first thing I'm looking at is where's the ding? Where are they dinging you? Well, they're taking a fee, obviously. And can they lie? I have to look at that and how they can fudge it. Yeah, what's their part? Good question. Yeah, they could say they didn't get it. I don't know. I think it's trackable. I think it's all kind of traceable. Any rate, here it is. Here's the ding. They're trying to get you, the seller, to buy into more boosts. They have the boost business, just like this business too. All of these have that. Also, they're trying to get the people who are selling to also shop and participate. Because there's people on there hanging out. This is the difference between eBay. When I did it last week, I didn't know what I was doing, and the damn customers were helping me. Yeah, they like it. So, I'll be on there tonight. Folks, you guys are great. Listen, hit that damn like and subscribe if you can. It means a lot. We have really loyal watchers in here that make this fun. They do. You guys make it fun. Ruth, thank you. Melissa, Michael, everybody. Who else is in here? Oh, yeah, Satansplain. There you are. Now I can see. Now I'm looking. What's up? Follow Satansplain. Excellent show. Excellent. Excellent. Congrats. My family's in here. Jim, Melissa, Ruth, Fallon. Yeah. Lorcan. Mr. Christopher. We got to hang. I got to come visit you. Yeah. Thank you, Charlemagne. Everybody. Paul. Who else? I would die if Paul Winters was like, hi, I'm watching your show. Do I want to go listen to Paul Winters tonight? Oh, please. My friend Satansplain. Yeah, Bill, we got to hang. We could talk for days. Thank you, Brooklyn Dodger. Yeah, I mean, folks, it makes it fun when there's people in here that are the regulars. I mean, I get the vibe. I like it. And if you are new to the show, say hi. I mean, we're all friendly in here. We debate stuff too, and it's great. No harsh feelings. We're all trying to just have fun and learn. Yes, thank you, Lorcan. 21 watching. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, I like telling stories, and I like trying to, look at it and find the nuance of the wisdom to pull out of it for today. That's all. And there's nothing but you. So learn how to frame things so it's tailored for you. It's not that hard. It takes a little honesty, but I think people need to learn how to talk to their subconscious. That's what they got to do. Talk to your own subconscious. Find a dialogue with your inner self. Yeah. Thank you. All right. I'm going to take us out with Odorous on the Grammys. If you have little kids, and you don't like swearing, this is not for you. If you have little kids and, yeah, this is not a kid moment. But this is Odorous Urungus being interviewed on his thoughts on, as he says, the Grammys. Guar won a Grammy, and then they were told not to come. You know, they were like, yeah, you don't have to show up. But of course they showed up. So here we go. Here we go. Here's somebody new. Does that say Starla? Thank you. Bertram. Yeah, there's some people in here. Thank you, Ruth. I love you too. Here we go. Odorous Urungus. Speak some truth.
Oh, it was an absurd disaster. It was a debacle. You know, we went, they nominated us for a Grammy, and then they didn't even want us to come to the damn party. We showed up anyway, you know, hung around until Michael Jackson was done, and then beat it before Billy Ray Cyrus hit the stage. I mean, I could go on and on. You know, we were posing for some stupid photograph with Michael Green, the president of Degenerates at the time, and the LA Times had asked me, they said, Odorous, what do you think about being nominated for a Grammy? And I replied, quite honestly, it means nothing to me. It is a meaningless accolade bestowed upon Guar by a retarded child. Apparently that didn't go over very well with the showbiz community, whom I live to destroy. Now let me tell you something. Those fucking celebrities giving each other awards is the last thing they need. Heaping gift bags with $50,000 watches inside of them, the privileged elites of your society, heaping prizes and praises and meaningless awards. What about an award for that girl who's working 60 hours a week so she can feed her 2 kids because her husband is overseas fighting your freaking war so you guys can have your gas guzzling fucking... Sorry, I got a little worked up about that shit. And then Dave Grohl gets up there on the Grammys. He's like, yeah, I'm Dave Grohl. Oh, God, please let me suck some more cock. I got some more cock in my mouth. Quick, let's get some more cocks on stage for Dave Grohl to suck. He's not sucking enough. We think he can suck some more. Get Billy Joe from Green Day over here. Let him suck some cocks, too. Look, okay, bring him in, guys. Bring him in. Still, there wasn't enough cocks for Dave Grohl to suck. He actually, do you know that Dave Grohl had his teeth removed so he could fit more cocks in his mouth? Oh, I was absurd.